Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Shooting Off at the Mouth. It's the 9th of January 2022. England has just pulled off a famous, desperate draw at the Gabba. and it's put me in mind of the connection between cricket and the courts. But first, a little flashback. It's the 2nd of January of this year, actually a little before that, about the 31st of December. Some of us old lawyers are sitting together waiting, and one of us suddenly said, "Oh, the new sittings have come." And sure enough, I think by Friday evening, the new sittings which were to take place, which were to hold the field for till the next orders, were announced. And for those of you who are not lawyers, at least in the High Court, we have the various judges sitting in division benches or single judges, and business is allotted to the benches and to the single judges. And X kind of judge will do Y kind of work, and so on and so forth, distributed amongst all the judges, so that everybody doesn't get all kinds of work, and there is some streamlining of their duties. So we were all very interested, the 3-4 lawyers of us, and we poured over it and said, this for good for this, good for that, and X matter of mine is in trouble because it comes before Y judge. And some smart aleck who was part of the gathering said, "Oh, but why are you so worried about these judges? Because after all, what difference should it make? How imperfect your justice delivery system is, that so much emphasis is placed upon before which judge or before which judges the matter comes." And we said, it's the difference between life and death for that particular case. So then they launched into their familiar, boring critique of our legal system and said, how terrible, that it's a game of dice, and so on and so forth. And we were trying to explain to them that it is a very important thing in the fate of a case's life as to which judge or which judges it comes before. And there was unanimity amongst all the non-lawyers that, that's a terrible thing. And then they wrote it off, and they started talking about, I think, wine. It was that kind of an evening. So, let's talk a little about wine. So we know the famous French wines and the Australian wines and the South African wines and the Italian wines. And in the world of wines, there is a French word called terroir, loosely related to the English word territory. So terroir, however, is not just the terrain or the ground, but the atmosphere, the location of the land, the slope of the land, the amount of sun it gets, the amount of precipitation that place has. A bank of trees on the side of one particular vineyard may make a big difference. And that terroir influences the quality and characteristics of the wine. The same grape planted in a different location with a different geography, different climate, will yield a different wine. So it struck me that the sittings, which change about every 8 to 10 weeks or 2.5 months, is a bit like the terroir of the wine. Everything should be the same, but that essential difference between the vineyard being situated in, to give an extreme example, Rajasthan, as opposed to Nashik, will make the world of difference in whether there is a wine producing grape which will thrive there or not, and the quality of the wine. But I began with cricket, so let me go back to that. So today, England eked out a famous and pretty hard-fought draw. They were down to their last wicket in the last 3 overs. And Australia were denied a deserved victory because they were obviously the better team. So think of the characteristics of each pitch as the terroir or the sittings. Now, the critique of our liking a particular judge for a particular type of matter or not is not irrational. Neither, I think, is it improper or illegal also. The best lawyers will tell you when you ask their advice of a particular case, and ultimately, after giving some idea, they'll ask you, before whom is this case coming up? And as according to how you give the answer, they'll say, oh, then you are in trouble. Or, good. We are likely to get a fair shake of the stick. This is not due to any bias of the judges or due to any illegality of the proceedings, impropriety even. It's not due to any of these things. It recognizes the wonderful variety of, in our case, human nature. So there are judges and judges, and one particular judge will be taking up X kind of work, where in the old days when I joined practice, the great divide was between pro-tenant and pro-landlord. That was one great divide. The other was the sharply left-wing judges who would always side with the workmen, and the other not so left-wing, slightly more leaning towards the right, who would not give much of a leeway to the workmen, would hold in favor of the industry. Then there are those judges who tend to confirm the things which are done by the government. Not because they wish to be biased, but their sense of fair play dictates them to take a particular position. So just as, if you remember the last test we had in Ahmedabad, it was that first pink ball test of India. It finished in 2 days. I had gone to see it and we had a wonderful time. There was nothing underhand in the pitch prepared there. Nor is anything underhand in the pitch prepared at, say, Perth, which is a fast bouncy wicket, and pace bowlers salivated the idea of bowling at Perth. Even our fast bowlers, in fact, especially our current crop of fast bowlers. So the judges have their proclivities, their leanings, their tendencies, and some judges will prefer the letter of the law. Some will take a more expansive, equity-based view of the matter. So, to those who say that, oh, this roster system, and how chancy that your case should come up before Judge A, who is a well-known leaning towards one view of this. And to them I say this, it's like the cricket pitch. You can't carry a pitch along with you. So when India goes to England, you have to ask, you expect green pitches and you expect seam bowling. When they come here, they expect continental soil is less bouncy. It will turn on them from the second or third day onwards. And that is what life is. You do your thing, and the terroir or the pitch or the sitting list, the roster as we call it, does its thing. And in all this, in the larger perspective, or as we say in law, ceteris paribus, everything else being equal, the equalization of views takes place. So one bench may favor a particular viewpoint, but your case may not go on there. It may go on before another judge, another bench. And in the totality of circumstances, you find that the court arrives at the whole court, and all the cases which go through it, they arrive at a general, fair standard of decision making. So our sitting list, our roster, is a bit like the pitch. It varies. And let me tell you, every lawyer, and I'm sure every judge also, after 2-3 months, maybe even sometimes bad 4 months of doing the same work, is heartily sick. And the question on everybody's lips is, when are the sittings changing? So to all my friends who were saying that, oh, this is a terrible flaw in the system, I say, no, it is not. It is a system which reflects the innate variations of life. And just like Pat Cummins of Australia is bossing it on the English at Brisbane, I tell him, dude, you come to India and see how you can work your magic at Ahmedabad. Because that time Ashwin and Jadeja will tie you in knots. And the same happens in our courts. Things go around, things come around. And in the end, everything is equal. Thank you.